Ooh. Good rising. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm just getting ready for the day. I don't have anywhere that I just have to go today. I've already done my grocery shopping and all of that for next week. So let me see if I can zoom you in because today I'm putting on my makeup. Usually, through the week, I don't wear makeup. I work from home and sometimes I'll put it on every now and then just to put some makeup on and be using up my stuff, but most of the time I don't. But today I am going to put on some makeup, and I don't have a specific thing that I want to talk about. I'm drinking coffee, so it's just a nice day, and I'm still waking up. I need to shampoo my hair this weekend, so I'll probably do that either tonight or in the morning, and then go from there. I also plan to do a bit of spring cleaning. So I've got my, what do you call this? My face primer on. And I have a lot of different, well, not a lot, but I've got a couple of different face primers. But right now, or today, I use this one called Derma E. And good rising as you come in. Hope you're doing well, you and your families. Derma E Vitamin C Luminous 2-in-1 Primer, and it says Brighten and Blur. So that's what I'm using right now. This is what it looks like. All right, so that's on, and I think it's sat on enough. I've already done my skincare and all of that. I am going to go in now with some foundation. Right now, I am using the NARS Soft Glow Foundation. My shade is Bellum. When I first got this foundation and started using it, I felt like it was too light, but it's actually just the right color. And this is I want to say the first foundation or the first shade that I feel like matches my face and neck perfectly. Good rising, everybody. Matches my face and neck perfectly. So when I first started using it, like I said, I felt like it was too light. And my daughter was over one day, and I was like, "What do you think about this foundation? Because I'm feeling like it's making me look gray." And she was like, "No, it matches your face and neck perfectly." Okay, so going in to just blend it. So I have this NARS Soft Glow that I'm putting on now, and then I also have this Lancome foundation stick. I do like this, um, and I've been using Lancome foundation, the liquid, for years, but I decided to uh, try the stick foundation. In fact, the liquid that I have, I gave to my mom because we're similar um, foundation shades. She may be a little lighter than me, but for the most part, we could wear the same foundation shade. But she said she likes it, and that's been a while ago, or a little bit ago, sometime last year that I gave that to her. And y'all, when I put on makeup, it's kind of like an everyday. My look is an everyday makeup look, or I'm thinking it is. I have bronzer from Lancome, and I love having the bronzer, but I tend to use it eyeshadow, because unless I'm looking extremely pale, which is seldom, but I mean, I can't say I've never looked extremely pale. Unless I'm looking extremely pale, I don't really care for bronzer. And it may be that that's just not something that was really done when I first started wearing makeup. Now I am going to go into my e.l.f. eye primer, eyeshadow primer. I started to put this video on my other channel, and I don't know, maybe I should have, but sometimes, I mean, I am a spiritual person, but sometimes I just want to talk about mundane stuff because I am here on earth for a reason. So, uh, hello, hello. Lolita Yvette is my name. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. This is the e.l.f. eye primer. I like it. Okay. Let's see. Trying to think. What have I been using? You know what I've been using in my crease? I feel like I've been using too dark of an eyeshadow color in my crease area, my transition. And I've not been liking my eyeshadow looks for a while, but then when I started using this Mented clay blush as my transition, I feel like I started liking my eyeshadow better. Okay, so I'm going in with that Mented clay too much. Let me see if it'll. That's about as much as I can zoom in. Just doing this. If you hear a little buzz in the background, that's my little mobile AC over here. Because I start getting hot when I start putting my makeup on and trying to do my hair and all this stuff. And I feel like when I just throw it on, it looks better. When I'm trying to be precise and trying to make it quote unquote perfect, that's when I usually end up not liking it. But if I just go ahead and throw it on, seems like I like it better. I was watching a video yesterday of a young woman. Um, she went and got a chemical peel, and she showed the whole process. It looked really painful, and she said it was, but her skin looked so pretty after, just pretty and glass like. If I could remember the channel name, I'd call her name and just shout her out. I don't know her, but I don't remember her name. But for right now, I'm just content to do skincare. Now, I do have some like exfoliating pads and things like that. And right now for skincare, I'm using this as a moisturizer, face and body. Right now, I'm subject to change up, y'all, but I'm using this for face and body as a moisturizer. I do have the night cream too, same brand. Okay. I have the eye cream, same brand. And then I've been using this serum. And like I said, I'm subject to change up because I'm over here doing stuff. Okay, so yeah. And then as far as a cleanser, I have three different kinds of cleansers. I have two Lancome cleansers, and I don't remember the proper names for them, the exact names for them, and one Clinique cleanser. I have the Clinique one I haven't even started on yet, but the Lancome ones, I have one in my bath and one um, on my bathroom vanity to use. Okay, so now what else do I need to do? So that's that. So I used the Mented blush for my transition. Now I'm gonna go in with the only eyeshadow palette I have right now, and I'm not one to collect a lot of makeup. I was at one time, but I ended up giving some of it away. Some of it got so old that I had to throw it away. This is the ABH Mini Embers palette, and I think it's supposed to go for being a fall palette, but I want to use it. All right, so I am going to just don't want to sparkle and shine today with these colors. It's not sparkle, just shimmer, whatever you call it, right here. Or do I just want to do? I think I'm just going to do this color right here, this little sponge applicator. And since I have hooded lids, do you see how I put the transition kind of all over my lid to try to create some depth? I find that when I do my light color, just to put it right, kind of a little bit above the lash line, I don't like it when I put it all up in here. I don't end up liking the look. But if I just put it right here, and on the inner corner, as I open and close my eyes, it lands, the light color lands like I like it. It's just learning to work with what you have. Okay, just right in here. Okay. And I'm not a makeup artist, anything like that. I'm just putting on makeup and telling you what I'm doing. All right, so now I'm going to take another, I'm going to take this brush, it's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to go into this deepest chocolate color right here. And just still doing the same basic application. I'm going to run it in this crease and try to do it at a kind of like at an angle. Yeah, and I actually like that. All right, so now I'm going to take this one again and run it in the chocolate color. and just create my eyeliner. I do have eyeliner pencils, but that's not what I'm doing today. I may still end up using the eyeliner right there on the line. Okay, so for lunch, I'm thinking I'd like to have either a nice Caesar salad or either a nice Caesar salad or some vegan crab cakes. That sounds good. I am going to take this eyeliner pencil. It's Pixie, and it's in the plum color. It's in a plum color. And I'm going to run that on the top of my lash line. Sorry for the glare. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. I'm finding I actually like kind of a grunge eyeshadow look. That may sound funny for me being an older woman, I don't know. But I don't know. And what I mean by what my concept of grunge is makeup that doesn't look perfect, especially eye makeup. Now, you want your complexion to be on point, okay? Or I do. But then I'm going to put a little bit more of this light color. Let's see, I may need a, may be able to get away with that. Just right in here. Don't do that, mirror. I'm sitting here thinking about if I want to talk about some of the current events going on, and I know there's a lot going on in the world that could be commented on. But right now, at this moment, and I know some people don't have the luxury to do this, but right now, at this moment, I just don't really want to be talk about all this evil stuff people on the planet are doing. Personally, on a personal level, and on a country level, and on a global level. I'm ready for evil to get on. I really am. Just permanently bye. Okay, that's my outlook. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. That's my outlook. I just need to put on my mascara. I don't do lashes. I have them. I have a lot of them, but I don't really do lashes unless I just feel like doing it, or unless there's some kind of an event or something to go to and I want to spruce it up a little more. But on the regular, just give me some mascara and let that be it. Curling the lashes, and I wish I had done that first because I don't like how it messes up my liner. But we're gonna roll with it. Grunge it out. Okay. So now we're ready for concealer. My vanity is a mess. And when I first bought the vanity, I've had it a couple of years now. And when I say it's a mess, it just means all my skincare and makeup is all over it. NARS concealer in Armand. But when I first bought it, I put it together myself. And apparently I had some screws backwards because I used it. It looked so pretty and shiny. But now since I've got, been using it for years and all of that, the makeup, I'll wipe it down but from time to time. But the makeup and stuff has, kind of made it, giving it a rustic, used look, which I actually like. All right, so while that's sitting, some people put on bronzer. I'm not really caring for bronzer, so what I'm going to do right now, so what I'm going to do is put on blush. Okay. Do I want to do that right now? Let's zoom it out. No, I think I'll just wait a minute and let that be the last thing. What I will do is take a sip of coffee. But I do need to shampoo my hair. I need to shave my legs. All of that good stuff. And this morning I took the time. I keep the ancestors their fresh cup of glass of water on the table, the kitchen table. Uh, but there are times, especially on the weekends, when I like to fix them a cup of coffee. And I'll do it through the week too sometimes, but it just felt right to fix them a cup of coffee today. So, all right. So, concealer. And I'm going to put on a second coat. down here. I may get one of those chemical peels after all. We'll see. I don't know. So we're going to blend some of this stuff out. Now, I see a lot of women, most women that I see when they're doing their makeup, they have different colored powder to set their concealed areas like under eye and wherever they've concealed. Right now, I'm using one powder, and that's the powder I use over my entire face. I have several different ones, but they're my complexion shade. I've got the NARS light reflecting powder in Mesa, MESA. That's the color powder I use. I have the Laura Mercier compact powder in medium deep, and I also have the Laura Mercier medium deep loose powder and the sponge that goes with it. Okay, so just covering up the marks that I need to cover or camouflage. And I'm just using one of these little triangle puffs to blend out my concealer. Looks like it's going to be a pretty day out here where I am. And I'm putting on makeup, but I'm not sure I'm going anywhere. I've started watching a movie that I've not seen before. It's called A Piano Lesson. Um, but I was listening to another video. It went off, and then this movie just came on YouTube. And I've never watched it before, but I'm actually kind of into it. So I'm probably going to finish that up sometime today. Okay. And letting that concealer set a little bit before you blend it out does help to give you better coverage. I do have the red pigment, like for foundation, to mix with foundation if it needs to be warmed up some. So I have that for foundation. And then I also have the LA Colors corrector. I have the red corrector, but I actually prefer the orange one. Okay. All right. So now we're going to powder. And I'm just going to use a little bit of powder because I am a mature woman and I had oily skin in my youth, really oily skin, but my skin is not as oily as it used to be, not nearly as oily as it used to be. So I just put a little bit of that Laura Mercier deep, medium deep, and I'm setting my conceal. I'm setting everything. Going over my brows because I'm about to do my brows too. So we're just setting the whole face. Okay. All right. So just a little powder. Now, brows. I am using the Ulta brow pencil, excuse me, in espresso. I've noticed a lot of the women, a lot of the ladies will put on their base concealer and then they'll go in with a lighter concealer. just right here in the corner. I'm not doing that today, but I do, and I don't do it on a daily basis, but for special occasions, I would. So I do have this lighter concealer, NYX lighter concealer. Bear with me, and don't get, you have to get what color is right for you, or what, because I can't see this, can't see the color. Anyway, we're gonna put on brows. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking out of my window. Why did that have to drop? Anywho, my brow pencils I don't play about. I have this brow pencil, and I just got received my two backups, because brows make that much of a difference, honey. You don't want to run out of your brow pencil or powder. Just brush my brows up. Okay. Watching the ships come in, then I watch them roll away again. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Mm. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Sun cannot remain the same. Sitting here resting my bone. Won't leave me alone. Now just sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Yes, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Mm. I will say say this, um, and this is so random. Do y'all remember? And some people may still do it. Watts, what's called Watts singing. Um, and if you're not from my culture, and even if you are, because we don't really do this anymore as a people, but in the church, and this is why our services took so long. In the church, especially the Baptist church, when they would start the service, the deacons used to start off a song, and they would say a sentence of the song or a phrase of the song, and then the people, the congregation would start moaning or more moaning. And it's something that my people learned to do because of the tragedies we've been through, um, as a result of meeting certain people. And I don't hate anybody, but truth is truth. Um, and I'm not a BSer. Uh, but yeah, from what I understand, it's called Watts singing or something like that. And I used to be afraid. I remember them doing that, going to church with my grandparents. And I used to be afraid of it when I first started hearing it, because it sounds a little bit scary. If I can, let me give you an example. Like one deacon may start off with saying something like, I love the Lord, he heard my cry. And then the congregation, everybody starts going, I, I love Cry. And I used to be, when I first started hearing that, and I would be sitting by my grandmother, my grandfather would be on the deacon board. And it kind of scared me. We're talking about culture now. But then when I looked over and saw my grandmother kind of singing, and then surely when I looked over and saw my grandfather on the deacon board doing it, and I'm a child now, like I said, but I was scared when I first started hearing it because it sounds kind of scary because I just gave you an example. If you've never been around there before, but when I looked over and saw my grandfather singing, honey, that was the great buyer of my candy. Okay, when I was a child. So when I looked over and saw him singing it, then I started trying to learn it. I was like, ah. It took the fear out of it. Okay. But that, yeah, it sounded kind of scary until, like I said, until I looked over and saw my grandfather doing it. Then I was like, love. It's like, okay, my granddaddy doing it. The great buyer of my candy. I'm fixing to learn this song. Okay. All right. Brows are sisters and not twins. So I'm satisfied with that. Now, what I am going to do is set my brow with brow gel as soon as I find some. I told you my vanity is a mess over here. Right now, I'm using this, and I like it. This Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This is a sample or a small one that my daughter got me. One of the things she put in my little Christmas stocking or whatever. Not stocking, but just a little Christmas gift. One of the things. And I like it. I even like the smell. So I may repurchase this because I've been using, and it works, for years to set my brows. I've just been using that e.l.f. clear mascara, and it works, you know. And you can get that for like one tube of it, double-ended tube. You can get that for like $3 or $4, or else you can get the double pack for like $5 to $7, something like that. But anyway, I like to set my brows because I'm subject to just run my hand across my face as if I don't have makeup on. Okay, so we're brushing up the brows and setting them. And then I really like to have my brows set if I'm going to the chiropractor, because once I finish at the chiropractor, my brows aren't completely shot and I can just touch them up a little bit if they're set from laying face down and all the ways you have to turn to get adjusted. Okay, 39 minutes, y'all. Is the talking. I say that all the time. Okay, so now hold on, let me zoom you out. Okay. Yeah. Then I just like to, because most of the time I do not carve out my brows. So I'll just take a Q-tip and just kind of run it, clean it up that way. And I'm good with that. All right. Now I'm going to put on blush. So I'm going back to that Clay for Me by Mented, which is in my transition. Wait a minute, that's the berry blush. I have the berry away blush too, and I love that. But what I want is this Clay Too Much. And I'm just going to run it. I've discovered I like my blush right in here. Oop, that went down too far. Okay. Yeah, that went down way too far. And then I'll run my blush like bronzer across my nose and just like this. Okay. All right. Now, lips, and we are done. No, mascara. I need to do mascara. Estee Lauder is this one. What is it? Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiplying Volume Mascara. These names. Okay. That's what I'm using. And where's my mirror? Okay. I was actually watching one lady put on her makeup, and before she did her eye makeup, she actually put her mascara on first. And I actually see the point of that, because once you put on your eye makeup and particularly your eyeliner and like trying to tight line to get a thicker lash look, it kind of hinders how your mascara goes on. So I can actually see her point in starting her eye makeup with her mascara, but I never started doing that myself. It's one coat. Do I want to put some? I put some. They say mature ladies shouldn't put the mascara on the bottom lashes. I should have put in some eye drops. I need to develop that habit of putting in my eye drops before I start my makeup. Okay, second coat. See the difference? Even from no mascara to the first coat, and then from the first coat to applying two coats. Second coat over here. Okay. All right, so that's mascara. I'm gonna let that dry a bit, and then I'll probably do this off camera. Just take a spoolie and just kind of separate the lashes. All right, so lips, and we're done. So let me give a swig of coffee. Okay. Lip liner, I have MAC Vino, I have MAC Chestnut, which I need to get a backup. Um, I have MAC Root for Me. I have Judy's Place Ruby for when I wear my red lipsticks. And my red lipsticks, hold on. I have uh, Ruby Woo, MAC Ruby Woo, and then, which y'all know what Ruby Woo looks like. And then you probably already know what this one looks like too, but I have the Dior 999 red lipstick. But do I want to wear red today? Mm-mm. No, I don't think so. No, because usually if I wear a red lipstick, I don't want any eyeshadow on at all, or very little eyeshadow. Maybe just a tiny bit of wing liner. So we won't do that. But, and then I have several of the nude, Juvia's Place nudes and glosses. But what I am going to wear today, I have two Tom Ford lipsticks because I don't really want to wear a nude lipstick today. I have two of the Tom Ford lipsticks. One is in, this is the one I'm wearing today, and it's called Impassioned. Yeah. And it's kind of red, but not just red, red. And then I also have this Tom Ford lipstick in Unzip, which is a deeper oxblood or eggplant color. But I don't want to wear that either. So what I'm going to do is line my lips in, you can't go wrong with chestnut. First of all, I'm going to put on just a bit of Vaseline, lining the lips with chestnut. I don't really overline. I just run it like that. This needs sharpening. Where's my sharpener? There you are. I do have the MAC sharpener because I feel like it sharpens my pencils without eating them up. Hope I didn't speak too soon. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, I just line my lips like this. And usually once I do that, the bottom lip, and then do like that, I feel like it gets the top line kind of like I want it. I just go in and get that outer line of the lip. I had a woman at a makeup counter tell me, and this has been years ago, but she said people are pay because now people wear these big balloon lips. I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but years ago I was at a makeup counter and the woman, she was a nice lady. She said, "Oh, people pay for lips to look like yours." And I think she asked me, did I have filler? Y'all, this is Tom Ford in Passion. I think she asked me, did I have filler or something? I was like, no, I don't. And she said, yeah, well, people pay to have lips like yours. See, this is what I'm saying. You can think that nobody's paying you any attention. This will be, this is a mundane video, y'all, but you know, you can think people are not paying. People be watching and comparing. And I had to learn that because I'm telling you the truth. I, I wasn't paying people any attention. I was too busy monitoring myself and what I was doing and trying to make sure I wasn't wronging people and all of that. And come to find out, honey, I learned people barely watch themselves. They're too busy watching other people, calling themselves either trying to make sure ain't nobody getting over. And you do have to pay attention. Uh, Calling themselves either making sure ain't nobody getting over on them or looking, watching people in an attempt because they know they're up to something and plan on trying to get over on somebody else. Uh, yeah, pay attention. And that's something my ex-husband used to tell me all the time. Watch your surroundings, pay attention to what's going on around you. But yeah, all right. So what I'm taking with me is my Laura Mercier uh, powder compact for touch-ups, medium deep, my lipstick, Tom Ford Impassioned, matte chestnut liner. I do like to keep my brow pencil with me in case I need to do a touch-up. And sometimes I take blush, but what I'm going to do is just put on a little bit more blush. And it'll fade over the day. Now, it kind of looks like I have on too much, but it'll fade. Now, I use a little bit of dry shampoo because I do need to shampoo my hair because it's kind of flat. But the only, let me see if I can zoom you out a bit. Yeah. So I'm not putting heat on my hair because I need to shampoo it. So this is my look for today. Perfume. What did I put on? I think I put this on this morning. Chanel GRWM, and I'm down to the last little bit. And I'm about to change my clothes to put on what I'm actually wearing now. All right, thank you for tuning in because I see y'all have been peeping in and out. And like I said, I didn't really have anything that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to put on makeup, and I figured I'd just make this a video you can peep in on. All right, so love y'all. We shall talk later. Have a wonderful day. And my daughter, I'll tell y'all this before my daughter and I went out to lunch last weekend. And she told me, she said, Mama, you look so good. You look so good. And so we were out to eat. And I was telling her something because she swears I'm funny. I don't think I'm that funny, but she swears I am funny. And so I was saying something and she started laughing. And then, but before she was kind of laughing, and then she said, Mama, come here just a minute. We were sitting at the table. Apparently, I had a piece of hair that was kind of up. In the midst of me telling whatever it was I was telling. And so she said, yeah, let me brush this down. Because she said, it really comes across different when people are saying something and they have that little piece of hair standing up. That kind of tells the whole story. And which is true because we would drive back when she was a teenager. I'm going to say this and get off of here, y'all, because I got stuff to do. Not really, but I do. When she was a teenager, we were on the interstate. I think it was a weekend. We were on the interstate and we got behind this woman and she was driving crazy. But she was driving crazy. But both my daughter and I noticed that the woman that we're behind her in the car and she's in her car. She had her hair, the crown of her hair was kind of sticking up a little bit, And we kind of looked at each other and we were thinking, apparently we were thinking the same thing, because she was driving crazy and her hair told the whole story as to why. So I was like, let me get out from around her, because her hair standing up all over her head is just telling on her. But anyway, we'll talk later, y'all. Mwah. Have a great day.